Yo, what's up? Y'all gotta excuse me. I'm a little bit tipsy, man. A little bit on one. So I'm scrolling Twitter or whatever the case may be, right? And so I see this image and it just had a thing that said Lil Wayne talks about the Carter Six. And I know how I feel about Wayne. I'm a heavy Wayne fan. And before I talk about that, I just went to the comment section. Why do people feel like Wayne is irrelevant, like Wayne is trash, like he needs to retire? Like what is it that y'all not hearing when he raps? And who do you figure, far as nobody in his peer group or even the peer group that got Kendrick, Drake, and Cole in it, the newer generation, who do y'all feel like is rapping better than Wayne? Because I'm confused when people say that he should retire when a lot of these niggas can't even come up with half the shit Wayne thinks of. He thinks out the box. His lyrics are incredible. And that's not D-writing. That's just being honest. You know what I'm saying? And most of the niggas that y'all like praises Wayne and puts Wayne in that GOAT category. It's very confusing when I see shit like that because I just don't understand it. You know what I mean? They pit him, Eminem in a box to where they figure that because they rap so much with a different style, you know what I mean, using words on top of words that they should retire. I mean, without these niggas, let's be real, rap will be kind of boring. A lot of the new niggas I don't even listen to. You know, I mean, check their shit out and then it's like, it's not my generation, you know, of artists, you know what I mean, that I grew up listening to. But that's beyond the point. Now, he didn't really say that he would be releasing the Carter Six. As you see, they asked him a question. They said, "What's your favorite installment in the Carter series?" And he basically said the next one. Now, me being a Wayne fan, he don't really mention the Carters if he ain't dropping one. Could y'all imagine the Carter 5? They waiting on that Carter 4. Bitches coming soon. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like when Wayne say something about the Carter, it's dropping. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say it's gonna drop this year. I'm not saying that it's gonna drop next year. We ain't waiting for years though. That's the thing. Motherfuckers is like, yo, he should wait 2 years to drop this, 3 years. Hell no. Niggas ain't waiting that long for the Carter fucking 6. Let's be real. Now what Wayne needs to do, it needs to be all original music. I even heard somebody in the comments or read in the comments, motherfucker said he should go back to 2014 and re-record some of those records. We don't want no music from 2010s, bro. It's 2020, my nigga. Wayne need to go in there with a fucking plan. What niggas should do is give him the first Carter threes, 1, 2, and 3. Have him listen and study. See what worked, see what didn't work. I don't feel Wayne needs a hit record. To me, Wayne don't need a hit record. You know what I'm saying? Because you understand that I feel like if he went in there to do a hit record, it'd be forced and it'd be on some shit like, I don't know, How to Love or Lollipop or, you know, things like that. Wayne to me don't need a hit record anymore. Just like Eminem don't need a hit record, just like Jay-Z don't need a hit record, just like 50 Cent don't need a hit record. There's certain artists I feel like it's over that hit record shit. Hit records today don't mean anything. Cause the lamest rapper will come on with a song and it go number one. That doesn't make it a hit record. It's just a number one record. But we know how them numbers how they go. You see what I'm saying? But I do feel like he needs to get back to some of his older production. He's great on soul samples. So I definitely feel like Ye needs to throw him some beats. He also needs to step out there and get with newer producers. You know what I mean? I feel like him with Young Guru will be a good fit. Even Nicholas Craven, the nigga Ransom fucking with. The niggas Griselda fuck with. I just feel like he needs to reach out to certain producers because I feel like the thing about Wayne is you have to be a fan, have to be a Wayne fan, and you know what you like, and you know what you can bring out of Wayne because you know the type of direction you want Wayne to go for this beat. You know what I'm saying? You just don't give him a bunch of beats and he go in there and get creative. That's cool when he get creative, but sometimes when Wayne creativity, he'll go a little bit left. He needs guidance. He needs a direction. And I feel like when it comes to the Carter 6, it's different from I'm Not a Human Being albums. It's different from his mixtapes. The Carter really, really is a staple in the game. If you listen to the Carter 1 from the Carter 2, you see the difference. You see the growth. And then it goes to the Carter 3. That's basically his mainstream album. I don't feel Wayne needs to have a mainstream album. I feel like he definitely can take elements from his mixtapes where he got them beats where he just rapping crazy on them. We definitely want that. We definitely want the introspective Wayne. And you have the records where you throw like a Drake on there or you throw a particular Nicki on there, you know what I mean, a certain type of R&B artist to where it's that type of record like a Chris Brown feature or like when he did with Bobby Valentino with the Mirror record, records like that. Overall, if you can get all three of those elements, then I feel like you have a solid body of work because we're not looking for a classic these days. Wayne solidified. I don't feel like he has to drop something and put pressure on himself. And seeing how he's cool with a lot of motherfuckers he probably wasn't cool with, it'd be great to see 50 Cent and Lil Wayne. I think they can do something incredible. You know, that's just me. I would like to see him and Kendrick do something different. You know what I mean? Him and Two Chains, that record that they did, I Can Make It Bounce, where they going back and forth for bars. We need that again. We need some more of that. You know what I'm saying? He needs to work with lyrical artists. He needs to work with creative artists. And he needs to work with artists that has that sound to where you know that you letting the newer generation thrive more on the beat and you more in the background. That's just me. Of course, you can work with Travis Scott. That makes sense. I definitely feel like him and Lil Durk can make some magic. You know, if you did a record with Uzi, I definitely feel like between you and Young Thug, it'd be great for the culture. You know what I'm saying? On your Nas and Jay-Z moment for when y'all go in there. Because let's face it, Thug is doing some incredible shit. And I feel like he's not up there with Wayne, but at the same time, his last project, So Much Fun, did go platinum. So I feel like if they go in there with a plan, they can come up with something crazy. Because whoever thought we'd see Future and Thug on a fucking project, you know what I mean, a song together and shit like that. So I definitely feel like Wayne needs to reach out to some of the newer acts more than he did before. He surprised us on a couple mixtapes when I definitely said he should work with this person on this project, and the mixtape came out. I forget which mixtape it was, but he worked with him. You know, other than that, I mean, just have fun. You know what I mean? The Carter 6 is where you show your skill set. You know what I mean? And you don't want the Carter 6 sound like Dedication 7. We don't want that. You know what I mean? But I do feel like some of the times Wayne will get in there and do the same song 5 different times. It don't have to be everything about pussy, money, da 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 da. Like, we don't want shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of shit going on in the country. You know, speak on shit that's been happening with you lately. With the Black Lives Matter, you know, I feel like he should speak on that. Where people got his words twisted or tangled or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? That's one thing. His, you know, some would say that he still has a drug problem because of the way he's looking and everything like that, or talk about his dreads, how they falling out. You know, I mean, it's ups and downs when you indulge in certain things. So I feel like he definitely should speak on his addiction, whether he is or ain't doing something. You know, that'll be something notable to touch on, because just like you don't want to go in there and make an album for 15-year-olds. Fuck that. They wasn't around when you dropped The Block Is Hot. So you kind of got to cater to more of your peer group and your fan base, as well as the new people that came around. I seen a dumbass comment that thought Wayne came out in 2010. I almost shit myself when I read that shit. I was laughing so hard. But you definitely want to hit all angles if you're going to do a Carter 6. You know, because everybody going to compare the shit. They're going to always say the first 3 Carters is, you know, perfect. But I definitely feel like if he does drop a 6, then you can compare the first 3 to the last 3. You know what I mean? A lot of people wasn't feeling Carter 4 at first, but then recently this year you started seeing it was trending, and I found it to be the funniest shit, because we all thought that the Carter 4 was it was okay. Carter 5 we give a pass because we know how that situation was. It was done 2014 and it came out years later, so we understand that part. But with the Carter 6, you get back in the lab and give us original production, original music, no old songs unless there was fire. And you do go in the studio and re-record them. That's the only time that I'll feel like you should go in there and re-record some shit. Because sample clearance and everything like that, it'll be a situation like when Glory came out, the beat was different. So I'm quite sure that the sample somewhere along the line couldn't get clear, so they kind of remade it. If the song is not fire, then don't fucking try to re-record it. Because even if you re-record it, you definitely could do new verses. Let's say you did the first verse in a half 8 bars, you like the second 8 bars you didn't like, you can go and add something to it or mix around the last line to create something new. But we don't want old material, because that would be a waste to use the Carter 6, but then you're giving us old material. So I'm hoping that he gives us some new material. That's just me, but I'm not gonna really get too excited. We still ain't got the Devil Project, or Devolve, whatever you want to call it. We still ain't got that project. We still never got the fucking I Can't Feel My Face with Joel Santana, but we probably won't get that. The Drake and Lil Wayne album we won't get. I don't really care about a Drake and Nicki album. the Collie Grove project part 2 is supposed to drop. 2 Chainz said that, but we know how that's gonna go. But seeing how Wayne fixed his situation with Cash Money, maybe this time it will have 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne instead of this 2 Chainz Collie Grove featuring Lil Wayne. You know what I mean? But what y'all think about this? Y'all ready for the Carter 6? You know what I mean? I still feel like he got time this year to at least put out a mixtape and maybe the Devolve album, Love Backwards, Devil, basically. I feel like those are 2 projects he should work on this year, because he did Funeral, and I feel like at the Funeral either you go to heaven or you go to hell. So if it's called Devil, then that should be the next follow-up to Funeral. That should be the sequel to it, and Wayne should keep that in mind. You know what I mean? Then of course Dedication 7, because you mentioned this shit, like how do y'all feel about D7? And it only with DJ Drama. You know what I mean? I just seen DJ Drama working with Benny the Butcher for a Gangsta Grillz mixtape, which is crazy. I mean, it makes sense, but it's like, wow, okay, so, you know, Gangsta Grillz still popping. And if you can't do it with DJ Drama, then don't do it, because it don't work without him. Y'all have a formula, stick with it. Those are only 2 projects that I feel like Wayne should actually drop this year in 2020. And he need to do some visuals as well, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, Glory just now came out, and that's a 5-year-old video. So I feel like he need to get with some of these albums from the Carter 5 to Funeral and drop some of these fucking visuals, you know what I mean? Because I ain't understanding how niggas nowadays, they drop records and drop albums and singles and shit, but it's no visuals. It's a few motherfuckers that be doing that. I don't say too much, but I'm not feeling that, because you can just, I mean, I get we're in a coronavirus and it's an epidemic going on and it's hard to go shoot actual videos, but get creative, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Niggas still got money. Put some of that money to use and do some of these visuals. But y'all let me know what y'all thought about that news. Carter 6 could be possibly on the way. You know what I mean? And what features would you want? What producers would you want him to work with? And overall, how many songs you think it should be? Because people forget the first 2 Carters was in their 20s. And seeing how we live in a time where niggas want to drop an album with 18 records and then do a deluxe. Fuck the deluxe. You know what I'm saying? We might as well go ahead and let's do a good 20 records. You know what I'm saying? People like, that's a lot. It's really not. And then if you want to do the deluxe, then that's where you do the old recordings that you had, and then you re-recorded them. Maybe about good 5 records. You know what I mean? Nothing too crazy. But, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, the Carter 6 should be something special. I mean, it should be a double album, basically. Physical form, a double album, but, you know, regularly 10, 10, 20. So, you know, I don't know. I just felt like talking about that shit. I was going to talk about the 50 Cent shit on the Young Money radio, but everybody talked about that, so I ain't really got to say too much on that. Y'all know what it is. But holler at me in the comments. Thanks for the support. You know what I mean? I fuck with y'all if y'all fuck with me, and I fuck with y'all heavy. 1.